Many thanks for staying with us. It's The Conversation, and on this segment we have, a very, very special topic and special guest here with us. Lagos, they say, is a city that never sleeps, but increasingly the city is struggling to stay clean, from overflowing dumpsters to uncollected household waste, blocked drainages and refuse dumped by roadsides, especially on the medians. Many Lagosians are asking hard questions. Why does the city continue to look dirtier? Is waste management failing residents, or are residents failing the system? Joining us to answer these questions and more is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Lagos State Waste Management Authority, Dr. Muyiwa Gbadegesin. He's here with us seated. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
It's nice to have you.
Thank you for having me. And good morning, Lagos.
There's this question which I started with. Lagosians are complaining, even though many of us are culprits. Why is Lagos so dirty now?
We're currently going through a crisis period for a number of reasons.
Okay.
Waste management is a system. There's an established system of waste management in Lagos. Okay. Everyone knows that we have PSP operators. We have 450 of them, roughly mapped to the 377 political slots.
Okay.
Political wards in Lagos.
So we even have over.
We have
like 450
yes,
with 370.
Some wards are larger than others.
Okay.
And then they have, so that means they have more PSP operators.
Okay.
However, we know that Lagos is a success story as the center of excellence.
Okay.
So we're under pressure because the more successes Lagos records in providing the necessary infrastructure and social services for people, more and more people are coming in. Our projected population now, according to the State Bureau of Statistics, is 27 million.
Oh, okay. So I'll stop saying over 20.
So
it's now over 25 million.
You can see it everywhere around you. People sleeping on the streets, under bridges. So what that means is that there's pressure on all our systems, particularly on waste management. Waste is a byproduct of consumption. So the more people you have, the more waste you're going to generate.
Okay.
And so what you're seeing now is a transitional period when we're making new investments into that waste management infrastructure so that we can catch up with the demand. So yes, we have a temporary pressure, but you see over the next 2-3 weeks that things will quickly improve. Of course, that waste you're seeing is also because of the rainy season. We usually have more issues in the rainy season because of access to the dump sites, which is one of the critical infrastructures that we're talking about.
Okay. You've talked about the agency undergoing some kind of transformation. Now the question is about the PSP residents who pay, for their waste to be collected. Why are we still also experiencing delays in picking up our waste after paying?
Well, delays are for a number of reasons. Some of the PSP operators might be struggling with their trucks, which break down frequently. It's like a vicious cycle. If the residents are not paying, and a lot of people do not pay. I know that I know you're paying on time.
I pay ahead. I pay for the year.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of people don't pay. In most coverage areas, payment compliance is maybe 40% or worse. So how does the PSP operator, how can they have money to maintain their trucks and keep the service running? That's on one side.
Okay.
Like I just mentioned, when it's raining, you have a landfill that becomes more and more difficult to access. And that's part of why we're making investments in transfer loading stations. We're building a transfer loading station now at Olushosu with a private partner so that the trucks can come into a covered facility. You won't see the waste outside. and we can then divert the waste to material recovery facilities,
Oh,
brand new ones.
Moving away from
Moving away from Solus 3.
Okay.
So those are projects that will come online once they're about to break ground. Once they break ground in about 18 months, we'll have a new system. So you won't have as much delay. In addition, the state government is planning to support the PSP operators to acquire new trucks. We're looking at mechanisms that we can use to do that, so that you'll see brand new fleets of trucks around the state. And when you have a new truck, that means the maintenance will be lower, and they'll be able to work
But what
better.
about the people handling the trucks?
Okay, so one of the we talked about system. Waste management is a system.
It's a system.
So there's hardware.
Okay.
Like your computer, you have a hardware. You have the physical computer that you see. So the hardware is like the trucks, the transfer loading stations, and the material recovery facilities,
okay.
the bins,
Oh.
and then you have software. The software is the people, the behavior of the people. Whether it's the behavior of the PSP operator, some of them don't have good customer service. Like, if you're going to be delayed, you should reach out to the customer and explain why you're
being delayed.
And residents themselves, some people believe that they can dump waste on the street. And we believe that those people are not Lagosians, they're not residents of Lagos. Maybe they came from Chad or Niger Republic. Because, in fact, I think this year we're exploring whether we should do psychiatric tests for the people that we catch doing that, because it is antisocial behavior. When you talk about waste management, we're not doing it just because of aesthetics. It's because of public health and safety.
Okay.
You're talking about diseases directly related to poor waste management, like cholera, typhoid, malaria, which are a heavy burden on our public health system.
Okay.
So the software is the human behavior. And then the operating system is the laws, the regulatory framework, the way that we monitor the activities of the PSP operators. Now, we're reforming that system. We're going to review the waste management laws. We're going to make it harder for you to evade signing up with your PSP operator and paying for your waste. We're going to make it mandatory for you to sort your waste at source. So those changes are coming this year.
Okay. So some Lagosians are asking that to some of the ways LAWMA can solve this issue is to give free bins. Is that possible?
Nothing is free, even in Freetown. Someone has to pay for it.
Okay.
However, along with the material recovery facility, let me tell you a little bit more about that, because it's something we're excited about.
Okay.
It's part of Mr. Governor's theme agenda that we should move away from landfill to material recovery facilities, waste to energy plant, biogas plant. Now, the material recovery facility, what that's going to do is that the waste to come in it's like a factory, and then we'll separate out plastics, we'll separate the organic waste, which will be used to make compost. We'll separate out all the metals and all the other fractions of the waste. Now, the plastic aspect, which is HDP, that's like your vegetable oil gallon, will be repurposed into bins, which we can distribute free.
Okay.
But it's still not free because, of course, a lot of money would have gone into that production process of separating it. But that's the plan, and that's what's happening in Ghana, where our partners have already done this. They distribute the bins free to residents. Now, with respect to bins, I have to say that we have smart bins in Lagos available for residents. They're not free, but you can spread the payment over a 2-year period, which makes it more affordable. There's smart bins which come with RFID chips, and we can tell when the PSP operator comes and lifts it, which is an added benefit to the household. And if you go to lawmasmartbins.com, you can order those bins. Then before we leave the issue, because I'm particular about customer service.
Customer service, okay.
Want to tell listeners that when you have delays in your service, or your waste is mounting up and you don't have anyone to pick it up,
Who do you
please reach
report
out
to?
directly to LAWMA on 070 80 60 10 20. I'll repeat that. 070 80 60 10 20. And we will, within 48 hours, make arrangements for your waste to be evacuated. Please don't bring your waste to the median. We do not want Lagosians to bring waste to the median. The median and all our new highways are worth billions of dollars. They're not meant for waste. And when you bring your waste, you're actually shortening the lifespan of those roads. And you're
polluting.
negatively affecting
yes, you're polluting the
society.
environment.
So please don't do that. Reach out to us and we'll help you out.
Before I go to the sweepers, who are the most visible face of LAWMA, my colleague, Abimbola, seems to have a question for you.
I just want to stay on the waste collectors. Do they also get sanctioned when they fail at picking refuse as at when due? And what's the interface like with residents, or days that they should actually be going straight to cart away refuse? So take us through. Do they also get penalized? Do they get sanctioned? How do you deal with erring PSP operators?
That's a great question. We, as you're aware, LAWMA is a regulatory authority, and we monitor very closely the service delivery of the PSP operators. We monitor them month to month, and we have what we call a performance matrix, where we measure them across a range of indices, including whether they're coming every week as they're meant to, whether their trucks are working in good condition, whether we can see them coming to the landfill to discharge the waste, and then we score them. When they are deficient or delinquent in their services, they get a warning letter. And so they get, if its PSP operator gets 3 warning letters, they now move to a final warning, after which we can replace them. Last year, we replaced 27. And this year already, about 22 are on the chopping block for various reasons. So yes, they get sanctioned. But I will still reiterate that if you as a resident are having issues, please reach out to us directly, and we can resolve that. In some cases, we will we can even come and clear your area with one of our own backup trucks, which Mr. Governor kindly provided for us about 2 years ago. So LAWMA does have capacity. However, that capacity is under pressure because a lot of people are bringing their waste to the median. And that's why I'm actually begging you, if you aren't doing it, tell your neighbors, tell your community, don't bring your waste to the median. It is destroying our state. So please don't do that. Let me add another means for you to reach out to us. I know a lot of people prefer email. So you can reach out to LAWMA on info@lawma.gov.ng. And of course, you can reach out to us on our social media. That's LAWMA_GOV on all platforms. And you can even reach out to me directly. I respond
I was going to say, who responds?
At Muyiwa G.
Okay.
At Muyiwa G.
Okay.
And if you reach out to me, I'll chat with you and I'll make sure that you're sorted out.
Okay.
You could actually interface with, you could send pictures. Is that app still operational? I've tried to I think, is it still working?
It's been upgraded.
Okay.
So I think in the next couple of, maybe a month or so, we should
it should be back on.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Adebimpe, you can.
Okay. Someone just sent in a question. I'll go back to it later. I want to talk about the Lagos sweepers, or LAWMA sweepers, as they are fondly called. Do we have enough of them? Because I've noticed, that I don't see them. I don't see as much of them like I used to.
We have enough of them, 16,000.
Okay.
And they cover 1,000 routes.
Okay.
They work from 8 a.m. to 12 noon.
Okay.
In some areas, they work in the afternoon. So sometimes they would have finished working before you start moving around, especially if that particular route is not so.
Do you know when I leave my house?
Well, So yeah, I think we have enough. But what we're and we've done the Mr. Governor has done a lot for them in terms of.
I was going to ask, are
in
there
terms
some
of-
welfare
in terms of-
packages,
yes,
incentives for them? Because they always look so overwhelmed.
In the next 1 week, we're going to distribute 16,000 uniforms to them, brand new uniforms, and we'll make a lot of noise about that. Maybe we'll come back here so that you can host them.
You're going to bring them here?
If you want, if you
Yes,
invite us,
yes.
so that you can interact with them as well.
That would be nice.
In addition, Mr. Governor has very graciously approved health insurance for all of them. All 16,000 will be enrolled in the Ilera-Eko LAWMA health insurance program. And I think it's also a good opportunity to encourage every Lagosian to enroll in health insurance, because with health insurance, the more the merrier. The more people are on it, the more affordable it becomes for all of us.
Okay.
But all the sweepers, once they're, and we've done biometrics for them, so it's just a process of distributing their cards to them, and they'll be able to access services at primary healthcare centers and general hospitals. In addition, we're constantly distributing all kinds of palliatives to them. And then a lot of corporate sector people, because they can see, maybe you are not seeing them because your particular routes are not currently being covered. But a lot of areas, people see them and they come to us and they say, oh, they want to do various things for them. Sometimes they donate uniforms, they donate safety equipment, PPEs, or even foodstuffs, just to help them out. It's a part-time job. Many of them have other things they're doing.
They do, okay.
And many of them are doing it. It's not so much because of the money. It's because of that passion and the pride with which they wear that uniform. That orange uniform is a symbol of something bigger than themselves. And so they enjoy it.
Okay, I've engaged one of them before. It was a while ago. And what she told me was a bit scary, that, sometimes they get threats by those who, I don't know if you've ever heard anything like that.
Yes.
They get threats, and that is, they get threatened by people that, even those who put rituals on the road, that they are not allowed to touch them. And because of that, some of them run away.
Yeah. So,
you're aware of it?
Yeah, we went on a television program with them recently, the Muyiwa show, and they were able to express a lot of these things.
Oh, okay.
People speeding too much. If you see our sweepers working, please slow down. They're human beings. They're human beings, and they're doing this work for you.
But they have an indicator, like a cone.
They do. They have
put on
cones,
the road.
but we see a lot of you, and I'm talking directly to those your listeners, pleading with them to be kind to our sweepers. There are some instances where they see sweepers sweeping and they toss bags of waste
on the road.
onto the road. Why?
Yes, they do. I've seen
That's
that.
wrong. If you see somebody working, why are you making their life more difficult? You're supposed to dispose of your waste in your bin at home.
Or in your car.
Some of them are very rude to them. And so these are things that for the life of me, I don't understand why some members of our society can be so cruel. And yes, there's instances where people go and place shrines and all kinds of things on the road.
On the road.
It's wrong,
And
and we need to stop. It's the same people who insist on bringing their waste to the media. Let me mention that we take it very seriously as a state government. Last year, we apprehended 1,070 people disposing of waste illegally, and we prosecuted 447 of them at the state environmental courts. Some of them are serving jail sentences. Some of them are doing community service, and we'll continue doing that because we believe that Lagos State must be clean.
Okay.
Must be clean, and we will not allow anyone to get in our way of achieving that goal.
Okay. Abibola, do you have something to say?
Before you leave the street sweepers, I'm also looking at, is LAWMA ever looking at ways by training the street sweepers, maybe in first aid administration? We've had issues around hit and run drivers. So do you also think of giving them little training as to help themselves when one person is injured or if injuries occur before help actually comes?
Okay, that's a very good suggestion. We do have a health and safety unit that does on-the-job training for them. They go
Okay.
to their routes every day and teach them how to. You mentioned the placement of the cones.
Cones,
That's
yeah.
a continuous thing where we train and retrain them.
Okay.
But you know, that's a great suggestion to actually give them basic training in basic life support, and it's something we'll look into.
Okay.
A question came in earlier, and this person is asking that Glass House outward K2 is heavily piled up with refuse and it causes traffic on the express. What is LAWMA doing about that particular access? And they
We'll
also
look
asked
at-
that someone is also asking, why did LAWMA stop taking refuse in the night? And some sweepers do sweep dirt into the drains too, that they see them do that.
Okay. The first point, we'll take note of that location.
Okay.
It's one of
K2.
our regular points. Sometimes we clear these points, and within 2-3 hours, they've come to redump waste. We still work at night. However, in some areas, workers are subject to attacks, violent attacks. So some areas we have to avoid during the night, pending the time we have enough of security cover. The last question was,
Okay, why do some sweepers sweep the
Those-
waste into the drains?
That's wrong, and that's one of the things that we constantly train and retrain them about. And when we catch some doing that, they're subject to sanctions, suspension, and sometimes dismissal. So it's not allowed. Also, instances of sweepers collecting waste from households and bringing it to the median, we frown on that as well. And we plead with residents not to use our sweepers as your waste collectors. It's wrong.
Okay, I just want to find out that, look, is there enough awareness for people, residents in Lagos, about proper management of waste? Because when you pick somebody or when you catch someone, you know, disposing their waste inappropriately, the sanction them, they go back, and it doesn't look as if anything has been done. We don't really see the impact. And some keep saying, or when they catch them, they'll say, oh, I'm not aware, you know. So is there enough awareness, you know, by LAWMA on how people should dispose their waste correctly?
Well, clearly, there's with respect to advocacy, we can always do more. We have to do more.
Okay.
And like I say, there's two sides to advocacy.
Okay.
There's advocacy and there's enforcement. Ignorance is no excuse in the law. These are laws that we're talking about. So if you decide to live in a particular community, you must know the do's and don'ts of that community.
Yeah.
And then saying that you don't know is not good enough. So,
Okay.
but we on our part will continue to educate people, to plead with people. But if they refuse to comply with the laws that make life easier for every one of us,
Maybe
we'll
the sanctions
definitely-
should be stiffer.
we will definitely, we'll definitely sanction them. In fact, one of the things that Mr. Governor has done as part of his team's agenda is to establish a LAWMA Academy. And one of the goal of that
And what would
LAWMA
that do?
Academy, and what that does is that we go to catch them young in the primary schools. We have a team that goes out to primary schools, addresses them, teaches them about good waste management, even distributing bin bags to them, color-coded bin bags. We go to secondary school, and then we have internship programs where we bring undergraduates and graduates to LAWMA for a month so that they can learn about circular economy and about recycling. And some of them have gone on to establish businesses, thriving businesses, repurposing waste materials. And we continue to expand that program. We even want to make it into an institute so that we can do training for corporate sector. And you'll find that there's a lot of positive response when we do this advocacy and education. So we believe that if we continue to expand and catch them young,
Okay.
over the next few years, you see a new generation of Lagosians who are more aware and understand the benefits of having a clean environment.
What about taking the advocacy into communities, like the underserved communities, with
Absolutely.
community leaders?
We have that too. We have an advocacy unit,
Okay.
and they have 3 separate teams that go to the 3 senatorial districts every day. They meet with the markets. They meet with the CDAs and CDCs.
Okay.
They engage with the PSP operators, the CDCs, and the estates to resolve issues. We also have established a LAWMA local government integration unit, where we have senior officers who interface with the local governments. We requested that each local government should set up a waste management task force.
Task force.
And that task force includes the environmental health officers, includes LAWMA, includes PSP, CDA, CDCs, the market leaders, traditional rulers, so that they can resolve issues locally. And some of the local government chairmen, not all, have woken up to their own responsibility within their local governments. Some of them are buying compactor trucks to provide backup services. Some of them have established task forces. So the point I'm making is that keeping Lagos clean cannot be the job of LAWMA alone. It's everyone's
responsibility.
job. It's a collective job because we all live here. We all want to enjoy Lagos. So we all have to do it together.
Okay.
We all have to do it together. Like we always say, Igbega, Ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó,
Ajumoshi.
Àjùmọ̀ṣe gbogbo wa ni.
I've been smiling because I saw this question from someone, and the person said, when LAWMA fails, who holds LAWMA accountable? Who do I report LAWMA to? The ministry, the governor, or the public?
Well, when LAWMA fails, that means, in line with what I just said, every
You
one
can't
of
report
us,
LAWMA to LAWMA.
No, when LAWMA fails, every one of us has failed.
Has failed.
Because we are all LAWMA.
So when is LAWMA now?
We
Is
are all
everybody-
LAWMA. If you say Lagos Waste Management Authority, who is Lagos?
All of
And
us.
who is generating the
All
waste?
of
So
us,
we
yeah.
must all do it together. And in our part, we're here to support and provide. All we have big trucks that can pack your waste. But if you don't tell us or if you don't work with us, how do we do that? So it's a collective exercise.
Okay, Abimbola.
Is about waste sorting. If we're still having this great challenge with getting people to comply with getting their waste to, for the PSP operators to cut them away, then how long will it take us as individuals to start sorting our waste from the homes, knowing full well that we've started talking about recycling, all of the 3 R's, but yet we all are all still guilty of putting all our waste together. So at what point do we start advocating or start sensitizing that we need to start sorting right from the homes? And when we sort from the homes and the PSP operators come, do they have the capacity at the moment to also sort from site, or do they cut away everything and then go sort somewhere else?
Sorry, Abimbola. The PSP operators that come to my access, I see them sorting.
Yeah, sometimes they do,
I
but
see
not
them sorting
all,
before they
depending
leave.
on the kind of
Truck,
truck they
yeah,
brought.
exactly.
So let's talk about sorting
Yes,
right
so
from the homes.
What you just mentioned with the PSP sorting, that's not an ideal system.
Oh, okay.
I mentioned that we're reviewing the law with the House of Assembly. We're going on a retreat next week to look at new things that we can put in that law to improve the waste management system. And one of the things we want to introduce is mandatory sorting at source, at home. So you have multiple containers. Right now we have 2-bin system. We have brown bin and blue bin, the smart bins that I mentioned earlier. But you don't have to use bins. You can even use bags, so color-coded bags. And again, that sorting at source system will be managed by private recycling companies. We have hundreds of them licensed, and some people have them coming to their house. Like in my case, I use recyclers, and they come in and take all the different types of waste, which I've already separated. And the recycling companies also give incentives. So we're moving to a system where even if you don't feel like recycling, you will recycle because you're going to be making money from it. By the time you calculate your plastics, your aluminum cans, your paper and cardboard, I can tell you that in a month, even if it's 2,000, 4,000 that you're making from that separated waste, you can use that to net off your waste bill.
Okay.
And isn't that better than the dumping everything out? So we will refine that system so that once you're separating your waste, there will be a recycling company to collect and also record what you've recycled and also give you incentive.
Okay.
And you know that's what is going to encourage people to do this.
Okay.
Now the system where you've recycled and then the PSP comes, mixes everything together is not ideal because that reduces the value of the recycled materials because it's now stained.
Oh.
There's a lot of recycling going on at the landfill as well. At Olushosun alone, that's in Ojota, you have 3,500 scavengers.
Okay.
Actually, we don't call them scavengers anymore. We call them urban miners because they're mining all kinds of valuable materials. In fact, Lafarge, the cement company, they've established a material recovery facility on the dump site where they're collecting non-recyclable combustible materials. Huge, like things like sweet wrappers. When I was there last week, Tuesday, I saw the largest quantity of Tom wrappers I've ever seen in my life. And those types of things are not easy to recycle, and they're going to take them to their cement kiln. So what we're, and all these 3,500 I'm talking about, we want to move them away from the landfill. Since we're shutting it down, we'll train them, put them in uniforms, give them cargo bicycles, give them ID cards, so they can drive around your neighborhood, ring the bell. You bring out these sorted materials, they record it in the POS, and they give you credits for it. That's the system that we want to build. I'm trying to describe it, but I know a lot of people, until you see it, you won't believe it. But just take my word for it.
Okay.
I just want to ask, do we still have the colored bags in medical waste? Is it still in still in existence? And how are we doing with medical waste collection? Because again, oftentimes we talk about waste collection, we leave that part, and it is also very important. So walk us through where we are with that.
Yeah, we do. The medical waste system is working very well. Okay. Each hospital is also signed up with a PSP operator. They have a dedicated waste point for their medical waste, and they have separate containers for the different types of waste, whether it's sharps, it's biological waste, and the waste is picked up only by those medical waste PSP operators. And we have a medical incinerator at Oshodi where we dispose safely of the medical waste. Lagos has the best medical waste system. In fact, they come from other states to understudy us. And we're constantly going to improve it. We want to introduce additional medical waste incinerators later this year so that we can have them at the, right now we have in West, we want to introduce for Central and for East to reduce the travel time for the PSP operators.
Okay. I want to talk about this illegal waste pickers. They call them cart pushers. We know in Lagos State, these people have been banned, but we still have some individuals who still engage them. And when these cart pushers pick up waste, they just drop them anywhere. They don't even take them to the dump sites or anywhere. So even though these waste pickers, illegal waste pickers, have been banned, why do we continue to see them around?
Where there's demand, you're going to see someone coming up to provide that. We don't have coverage in a lot of areas, the PSP operators, particularly rural areas where the roads are not motorable, and some urban areas like in Lagos Island where the roads are very narrow, difficult to access. What we've done in partnership with the Bejuleki, with the chairman, Honorable Olowa, since 2 years ago, we've been running a pilot with tricycle compactors. So they have about 50 tricycle compactors, and the residents pay as you go. We've run that very successfully. They pay 2,000 per bin bag, and it's functioning very well. The tricycle compactor brings the waste out to the main road where a compactor truck, a large compactor truck, is waiting to take the waste to the landfill. The same PSP, it's a tricycle PSP operator in this case, operating that. We've asked them to expand to Lagos Island East and parts of Alimosho. They plan to start in about 2 months. They've ordered the equipment, and we've also ordered 500 tricycle compactors from Zoom Lion in Ghana. Now, what we're going to do is look at the cart pushers, the areas where they're operating, where there's demand. The good ones among them, we can incorporate them into this new system.
Okay.
And right now we have a challenge because the more we arrest them, I think last quarter alone, we arrested over 500 and took their carts and destroyed them. There's so many.
Yeah.
There's so many, but it's like you said, you know, it's not the right system and it's illegal. We continue to arrest them as we begin to bring in a new and better system.
Okay, when we started, you said LAWMA is going through a reform. So in the next 3 to 6 months here in Lagos, what should residents, you know, what change should residents, you know, start to see in the next 3 to 6 months?
3 to 6 months.
Immediate change.
Immediate change is, you know, you mentioned collection at night. We actually started that about 2 nights ago.
Okay.
You will see cleaner streets. You will see expansion of the recycling operations. For example, in Lagos Island, we now, every Thursday, we go around the community with megaphone and ask people to bring out their recyclables and we give them cash on the spot. We're going to expand that to Mushin. We'll expand to Oshodi, Agege, and other areas where you have highly visible LAWMA facilities. And we want to push the recycling companies to give more and more incentives. So you see more opportunities to turn your waste into wealth. You'll also see more treatment at source. Next week, on the 9th of February, we're launching the Ikosi biogas plant, which treats about 500 kilograms of fruit waste every day from Ikosi Fruit Market. So instead of them dumping it on the road, you would have seen some waste coming up onto the median at mile 12 from those markets and at K2. We will be sorting it, producing biogas. The biogas powers a generator that powers the lights in the market, and they can charge their phones, and they also have some cooking gas from that as well. We're going to replicate that to other markets around the states.
Okay.
So you will see more and more waste to wealth projects. 3 to 6 months, small ones. But in 18 months, you will see closure of Olushosu and Solus 3 in Igondo, replacements with transfer loading stations so that the PSP operators will be able to clear your waste from your house more quickly.
Okay. So one last word, just before we go, a last word for Lagosians on proper waste management.
Proper waste management is the beginning of improved public health. Our lifespan right now in Nigeria is 52. But if you manage your waste better, you have a cleaner environment, your lifespan will go up. You'll have less malaria, less typhoid, less cholera. And if you sort your waste at source, you'll be able to make money from it. So please join Lagos State Government, join the Ministry of Environment, join LAWMA in this collective task of keeping Lagos clean.
Thank you very much. We've been speaking with Dr. Muyiwa Gbadegesin, MD, CEO, LAWMA, he, of course, here in Lagos. And I just quickly want to drop this. Waste management is not just about trucks, it's about responsibility, and it is about discipline. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We'll go on a short break. When we come back, the conversation continues.